What up, guys? This is Derek Larger, and I'm here with my main man, Josh. How we doing today, man?
Doing good.
All right, so today we're going to be talking to you guys about a couple things that have happened recently. The most recent one is how LeBron James may or may not be playing tonight against the Bulls due to illness. Stop laughing all the time. And then the most recent ESPN update that we received this morning was Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield was arrested earlier this morning and was charged with public intoxication, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and fleeing from a police officer. Now, there's still a lot of details to be figured out as to what is going on here, but what's your reaction to this story?
My reaction to Baker Mayfield is just one of pure college age, I can do whatever I want, my parents aren't here kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very odd. Like, I don't know why he's doing this considering he's the star of Oklahoma. Like, he might have just ruined his career after this.
You pretty much do if you resist arrest.
Yeah, so I'll continue to give you guys updates on that as that goes along. So now we're going to get into our first topic of today, which is about Jameis Winston that occurred Thursday. As some of you may or may not have heard, Jameis Winston went to a local school and was talking to a bunch of 3rd and 4th graders and said some words that were twisted in the minds of some people where he stated that men should be strong and uplifting when women are normally silent and a lot more, laid back. Now, obviously, this struck a lot of criticism, and especially with Jameis Winston's past and his alleged rape against a woman back in his high school days. There's a lot of talk about whether or not he actually meant this. Jameis Winston later apologized to the public and to the kids for his choice of words. So I want to get your reaction to this. What was your reaction when I talked to you about this story?
My reaction was just kind of like he meant to say something completely different in his head, but when his mouth finally said it, it just came out sounding like men are proud while women stay in the back. I don't think he meant that at all. I just think he meant like men usually get up and start yelling when, how you say it, like sometimes, gosh, I don't know really how to put it this way without.
Yeah, well, see, let's think about, let's ask it a different question. Should we give him a pass on this just because of poor choice of words? Or should we look further into this and possibly think he might have actually meant this?
I think it's 50-50 because that could be a slip of the tongue, like common error and all that stuff. But given his past with the one woman who said that he raped her right before he got drafted, we don't know about that entirely, but in my opinion, I'm favoring more it was just a slip of the tongue, kind of.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that too. You have to take his past into consideration because of issues with stealing things, issues with women, especially before he went to Florida State. He hasn't had a problem since coming into the NFL. I'd hate to say that he meant to say he firmly believes that women should be quiet. Obviously, I'm sure both and I agree that that's not what he meant to say. That's not what we believe. I mean, women should be strong and uplifting and should do as their hearts want them to do. I just think, and another thing in the video, he later claimed when he apologized was that he was losing their attention. It's hard to keep 3rd and 4th graders focused on something, and when you're going off topic a little bit on your speech, sometimes you tend to get a little more dramatic. You want to do something that makes kids get up and rowdy, and you want to make sure they're listening to you. And I think he might have accidentally meant to say something different, but it came across the wrong way. But we certainly hope that that's not what he actually meant to say. So We'll be sure to listen to some more of that. But obviously, the country's still divided on that, on regards to whether or not he actually meant to say it, based on his past. All right, so we're going to go into the second topic, which has been the big topic of this year. Who should be the MVP of the NBA? Now, Josh and I both agree here that LeBron James should be the MVP of his team, because we believe that if you take LeBron James and put him anywhere, this man is going to make a team better. You could put him on the Brooklyn Nets, and that team would be a contender to go to a title. It's just that simple. There's not a whole lot of other guys in the NBA that can do that. But we believe that he won't win it, just simply because there's mainly two other guys that are in the head topic for that right now. James Harden and Russell Westbrook. So the big question for you is, who do you think is going to win the MVP when it's all said and done?
I think it's going to be Westbrook, because not just because of the triple doubles, but just the fact that sometimes committee members take pity on those that look like they got treated badly, like the way Kevin Durant may have slightly made comments about how Westbrook was holding him back and how they weren't true like teammates or anything like that. I think right now, as it stands, Westbrook is the best candidate for it because of his ability to score and his ability to share the ball with his teammates. And as it stands right now, to me, he's looking like what LeBron James looked like back in 2007, where it's just him leading that team, which may lead him to explore other options in the end if he does not get any more talent around him. That's what I have to say.
Well, I would have agreed with you the first 20 games of the season. I would have agreed with you that Russell Westbrook deserves the MVP, but my stance has changed simply because James Harden is on another level. The thing is that he had to switch positions. He switched to being their primary point guard. Russell Westbrook didn't have to do that. You knew what Russell Westbrook was going to do when he came into the season. You knew he was just going to go lights out 100% all the time, and you got to love Russell Westbrook for his ability to just play basketball his way. But James Harden doesn't have many other better guys than Russell Westbrook does. Russell Westbrook has better big men. Now, James Harden has better shooters, which can help his assist numbers, but James Harden had to switch positions. And, let alone, it's not just the triple-doubles that James Harden is putting together. He's had double-digit triple-double numbers this year, but not quite like Russell Westbrook, but it's still triple-doubles. But the way he's scoring, along with how those are translating into wins, those are translating into more wins. Like, you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're barely keeping a 7th seed right now. Russell Westbrook is doing everything he can to try and keep his team there. The Rockets are actually legit contending the San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors for a chance at a title shot. Do I believe they're going to do it? No. But is it making it more interesting? Yes, because Rockets are 3rd in the conference right now. They're playing at an all-time great level this season, and it starts with James Harden because not only is he playing offense effectively, but he's also playing defense. Everyone knows the beard, it never plays defense. We made a laughing stock of James Harden last season, especially Shaq, when Shaq and the Fool never played defense at all. Never did. We thought that's why he doesn't deserve the MVP, because he doesn't play defense ever. This year, he's playing defense, and the way he's working the offense, I mean, James Harden is helping this team shooting three-pointers at an all-time level. Like, this team is averaging 12 3-points a night because Eric Gordon, who just won the three-point contest, and you have James Harden, who's a natural gifted shooter, and you got a couple of other guys that can shoot the three. James Harden puts the team in a great position because he's like LeBron James, but is better at shooting the three. He can drive, but also make a great pass out to the lane and outside to the three-point arc, but can also shoot the three at the same time. I just think when you talk about wins at the end of the day, that's what's going to separate them. Russell Westbrook would win the MVP if those two teams had the same amount of wins. If both of those teams ended with 50 wins or 55 wins, like if they were within 5 games of each other, Russell Westbrook wins it. But at the end of the year, Russell's going to win in between 40 to maybe 50 wins, depending on how this end of the season goes. But James Harden is going to help them win over 50 games. That's why I put James Harden over.
I guess you could say this season Harden is super effective.
Yeah, over what he was last year. So, and this is definitely something we want you guys to discuss. We both agree LeBron should be the MVP. But what we want to know is who you think is going to win the MVP. Not who you think should win it, who will win it. And you obviously heard he thinks it's going to be Russell. I think it's going to be James Harden. So make sure you leave a comment on that one. So we had one more thing we were going to discuss, and that is going to be college football. It's going to be coming up soon. It seems like a long time from now, but it definitely piqued our interest. So obviously, signing day happened earlier in February, and this guy right here is a Michigan fan. For all you Ohio State fans out there, throw some hate on him, please. And Ohio State fan that I am, and believe me, I had bragging rights after that season because obviously Ohio State beat Michigan for the 3rd straight time. But so what we're going to go through right now is who we think is going to have the better season over a span of time here. And I do think it's the Buckeyes because first we'll go through the schedules. We'll go through the schedules one-on-one and we'll give you guys a background of it. Ohio State opens up the season August 31st against Indiana. I think that will be a win considering we just took Indiana's offensive coordinator, or head coach I should say, and made him an offensive coordinator. Second game, Oklahoma at Ohio State. That will probably be the second hardest game of the season for Ohio State, but I think that we have a good chance at it considering the circumstances, which I'll get into here in a little bit. We have Army week 3. That'll be a good one. UNLV should be a win for Ohio State. Rutgers should be a win. Maryland should be a win. At Nebraska should be a win. We face Penn State at Ohio State. Usually we have much better luck at Ohio State. I think that should be a win. Facing Iowa will definitely be an issue considering his Michigan lost to Iowa, so we can't give them away.
Point.
It doesn't matter. It's still a loss, people. Michigan State
at least you didn't get Ohio State by 31.
Okay, we'll get into that in a minute. You watch your mouth now because you didn't even make it.
Neither did you?
We made it to the Final Four. Screw that. And then Michigan State, that should be a win for Ohio State. We're at Ohio State then. At Ohio State against Illinois. We should win that one. And then the final one is at Michigan. That one will be the hardest game of the season, and that will be fun to watch. I still think it's going to be Ohio State. And mark my words, people, it will happen. And then when Coach Harbaugh loses for the 4th straight time or 3rd straight time to Ohio State, Jim Harbaugh will get fired after that season because Michigan loves their coaches who can beat Ohio State. If you can't beat Ohio State, you don't stick around very long. So just watch. All right, we'll go to his schedule.
So you're telling me if Michigan beats Ohio State, Urban Meyer's going to be fired because he doesn't like losing to Michigan?
No, because we've beaten you guys every single time since Urban Meyer's.
Michigan it's reversed because if
No.
Ohio State,
No, see, the problem
Ohio State
is
coach is gone.
No, Urban Meyer has beaten you guys every time since he's been here. That's the difference. We've won. You guys haven't beaten us since Urban Meyer came to Ohio State. So you got a long way to go. Now get to your schedule so we know what this is about.
All right. Well, Michigan opens up their season September 2nd against Florida in Arlington, Texas. And
Sorry about that, y'all. We had a little bit of an issue.
technical difficulties. But anyway, the 9th, they play the Cincinnati Bearcats at Michigan Stadium. September 16th, Air Force at Michigan. Saturday, September 23rd, Purdue at Purdue. Sorry. October 7th, Michigan State comes back to the Big House. The 14th, the Hoosiers. The 21st of October, the Nittany Lions. And October 28th, probably going to be the easiest game of the season, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights at Michigan. And then November 4th, the battle for the Little Brown Jug against Minnesota.
Keep going. Keep going. I just want to hear this.
Veterans Day, we got Maryland. At Maryland, I should say. Wisconsin, we're at Wisconsin for that one, the rematch. And then the big one on November 25th. The Buckeyes come in.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, everybody throw up an OHIO in this thing. You know you want to. Now, we're going to listen to this guy say why he thinks Michigan's going to have the better season than Ohio State. Let's hear it.
It just comes down to just pure grit and determination. Harbaugh likes that.
Now, I'm not asking who's going to win the big game. I'm asking at the end of the season, why is Michigan going to have the better season?
They're just going to have the better season because they just will.
Because they just will. It's determination. They're tired of losing.
Michigan and Ohio State are going to have the same record till that big game again. And
yeah, just wait, y'all.
To that big game and
just wait, y'all. That's all he's got. That's all he's got. They're just going to. I can give you specific reasons why Ohio State will have a better season. First off, we're keeping J.T. Barrett along with the quarterback of the year, offensive player of the year, Tate Martell, coming into Ohio State with Joe Burrow as a backup as well. We have Mike Weber coming back, and we have the number 4 running back coming in to Ohio State this year as a recruit. We also just got a couple of amazing receivers that have insane length. Trayvon Grimes, Jalen Harris, a couple of these guys that are very good. I've seen the tapes. They are very hard to cover. Let alone, Ohio State's not losing any offensive linemen. We are keeping most of our offensive line, and they were already pretty good last year. They're going to get better this year because Ohio State has good offensive line. And that's not even the best part. Ohio State is not losing any defensive linemen. Tyquan Lewis, who was a sack machine last year. Sam Hubbard on the other side of the defensive end. You got Nick Bosa, who just came off a terrific freshman season. You have Jalen Holmes. You have this young man in the name of Chase Young, the number 1 defensive end coming out of high school that will probably see some playing time with Tyquan Lewis and Sam Hubbard. They said that he's not going to be an every down guy this year because he's relatively undersized. But when there's third down and longs that you know is going to be a pass play, look out for Chase Young next year. And I know what you're thinking. Ohio State is going to lose Gary Conley, Malik Hooker, Marshawn Lattimore, Raekwon McMillan. Well, I will tell you something, folks. Ohio State just recruited another one of those guys. Baron Brown, the number 2 linebacker in the entire in all of high school, is coming to replace Raekwon McMillan's spot. Worley is going to be back there as well to defend the middle with Baron Brown. That's going to be a great, solid middle. And Jeffrey Okadu, who is the number 1 corner in all of high school, is coming to Ohio State. And then you have Sean Wade, the number 1 safety coming out of high school, is going to replace Malik Hooker. And you had a couple of other safeties, including Kendall Sheffield and a couple of these other guys. The Ohio State just brought in one of the best classes, if not the best highly rated class that they've ever brought in. And a lot of these guys are going to start right out because we need those guys to be able to make headlines. And I believe the offense is going to be more productive because they definitely, there's more emphasis on them now. We know the defense can do well. It's the offense that screwed us over last year, especially in the big games against Michigan. Ohio State's defense was the reason why.
They were short.
They were not short. Don't let the Ohio State, don't let the Michigan fans screw with you. The Ohio State team won that. Don't let them ruin it. All right, don't worry about it. So, do you have any reason as to believe that why Michigan will have what evidence do you have to prove that they will win, other than the fact that they have determination?
I see Michigan winning because it's in their blood. It doesn't matter. Even if they...
Like it has been for the last 15 years?
Yeah.
Ohio State's been the best team in the Big Ten for the last 20 years. I mean, it's just how it is. The Big Ten is now Ohio State's conference, not Michigan's. It used to be Michigan's, but not anymore, folks. It is now Ohio State's, all right? So we're going to leave it at that.
What looks good on paper doesn't end up looking good on the field.
We'll see what happens when that comes around.
From high school to college. Remember that, people.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
They may seem good in high school, but it'll be different on the field of college football.
We'll see how that goes. Just watch. These recruits are going to come in and just steal the show. I guarantee it. So this is going to end our show today. I want to say thanks to my man Josh for helping me out today.
I was about ready to strangle your ass.
Yeah, he's going to try and strangle me after this video, but watch, it ain't going to work out for him. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and make sure to leave comments on anything else that you guys want me to talk about, and including what you saw today. For new ones, tomorrow I'll be sure to have my friend Chase to talk about the upcoming MLB season. I will soon be talking about how the NFL Combine went down and the mock draft for the NFL and the mock draft for the NBA and March Madness as well as soon as that stuff comes up. So until next time, y'all.
The Tigers are going to win the World Series. You heard it here, folks.
Oh, yeah, you heard it here first. Next time, man. Peace.